check out my new threads. Hey guys, my name is Deb Marnie and I'm from Aussie Maille. Welcome to our chainmail tutorial channel. Hey guys, big hi, hello, welcome back. Really glad to see you here. Thanks for popping along and spending part of your day with me. So today I'm making up the second kit that's in our October Maille Club subscription box. More details below for our subscription services if you're interested in checking them out. So this one is what I'm calling our Snowflakes Bracelet and Pendant kit. And it's made up using variations of the Byzantine diamond weave. Alright guys, let's just jump straight into it. So these are the sample pieces of the project that we'll be working on today. I'm calling this my Snowflakes Bracelet because it just reminded me a little of snowflakes. Not that I've ever really seen one before, but this is what I thought of when I started putting this together. So as you can see, it's made up of units of the Byzantine diamond and the further variation of that, the little star shape. The sizes that I used for this project will be popping up here on screen, so you can pause the video and write those down, or they'll also be down in the description part of this video. Okay, so we're going to start with the little Byzantine diamond units first. So to do that, we need to close up 12 of our small rings. These are the 9/64ths of an inch, the 18 gauge 9/64ths. So go ahead and close those up. Once you've got the 12 closed up, pick up your 18 gauge 7mm ID ring. So this is 18 gauge AWG, which is 1mm diameter wire. The ring has an ID of 7mm. So go ahead and pop on all 12 of the rings that you just closed. And then once you've got all those 12 rings on, we want to close our large ring up. Okay, and then we want to double that ring. All right, this is a rather high aspect ratio ring, so you may have a little bit more difficulty closing that ring up. So just take your time with it. So once we go through and double up that ring, okay, our work should look like this. And our next step is to take up another one of our small rings. And we want to feed that through just 2 of the rings that are on our weave. So pop that in there and then double that one up. And then once you've done that, you actually want to go all the way around your work, creating the same sort of chain unit. So go to the next 2 rings in your piece, pick that up, and double that one ring up as well. And just as I said, go all the way around until you've created 6 little sections of chain. So if you go ahead and do that now, and I'll meet you back here to show you what the next step is. Okay, so once you've paired off all of the starting rings, we should have our work looking like this. And now we want to turn each of these little starting chains into half Byzantine units. So to do that, we're just going to separate one section out, flip your work so you've got one ring on either side here. Take them all the way back and pinch them against your large ring, and then make sure that when you open it up, you can see that gap in there. Okay, so I apologize if this is a little difficult to see. The rings are very small, and I'll do my best to not get my thumbs in the way. So once I'm holding those rings back, those flipped rings back, I take up another small ring, and I'm going to feed it through that gap that you can see straight down the middle there. Okay, we're going to just pop that in through there, close that ring up, and we're going to want to double that ring. Okay, put it through the exact same path and close it up as well. So there you go, we've got our little half Byzantine unit, and we want to do this all the way around to all of our chains. Okay, so again, just flipping it back, holding it against our work, taking up another opened ring, feeding it through the center there, picking up those rings that we just flipped back, locking them into place, and then doubling that ring up. So you go ahead and do that all the way around your work until you've converted each little section into a half Byzantine unit, and I'll meet you back here to show you what we do next. Okay, so here we go. We've made all our little chain units into half Byzantine units, so it's starting to look more like that star that we're after. And now we want to join each of these units to each other. So to do that, we're going to grab another one of our rings, our small rings, and we're going to feed it down these two rings in our half Byzantine unit. So these two rings on this side of this unit, and then those two rings on the next unit. We just go straight down and pick those two rings up, and then we pick up the two rings from the next unit and we close that ring up. Okay, so our work should look like this, and we want to do this all the way around. So we move to our next bit and we pick up the two rings that are remaining from this particular half Byzantine unit, and we want to pick up the two rings from the next half Byzantine unit. So again, just taking up one of our small rings, going down and picking up those first two rings from this unit, and then the next two rings from the following unit. Now, to help this sit right, because it is a little tight, what I find helps is this ring here on our half Byzantine unit, this center ring. I find if you alternate the way that it lays, so you can see here, this one sits on top of the one next to it. Okay, it's underneath both of its partners. This one's on top, so we would want this next ring here to be underneath, and the next one to be on top, and the next one to be underneath. So I just find that helps the unit sit properly. You may find that you don't need to worry about that, but that's just a hint. If it's tightening up for you and you're having difficulty placing these stars, take a look at layering these middle rings into a bit of a pattern so that it helps with the layer, with the tightness of your weave. And you'll find that on this side, if that ring is on the top, then on this side, on the opposite side, that ring will be underneath. And that just helps it just layer a bit nicer. And so as I said, you may find you don't need to do that, that's not a concern of yours. I also like it if it looks a little bit more like it's in a pattern, a little bit more symmetrical. But if those sorts of things don't bother you, then you don't need to worry about that. So just work your way around your piece, placing connecting rings between each of your units. And then once you've done that, you'll have completed your star. So to make the bracelet up to the length that I've got it to be, so 20 centimeters or about 8 inches in length, you'll need 3 of these star units to be made. Okay, so we just need to place a couple more of the center rings. Okay. And then we've got one more to place here. So as I said, if it's starting to get a little bit tight and you're having difficulty placing these rings, again, have a look at the layering. Make sure that your layering is, I find it helpful if there's one on top, one underneath, one on top, one underneath. It just seems to help it sit a little better. Okay, and then we're going to place our final connecting ring in there. So obviously that last ring will be a little bit tighter than your first ring, but once it's done, you've got your little star. So as I said, go ahead and make up 2 more of these for the bracelet, for the full length of the bracelet. And I'll show you next the Byzantine diamond unit. Okay, so to make up the Byzantine diamond unit, you're going to need 8 of your small rings closed. So go ahead and close up 8 of your small rings. And then once you've closed those up, you'll want to take the 18 gauge 6.5mm ID ring, and you'll want to pop all 8 of your pre-closed rings onto here. So go ahead and do that now. And then once you've got all of those 8 rings sitting on there, we're going to want to close our large ring up. And we then want to double this ring. Okay, so we take up another 6.5mm ID ring. So remember, this is the 18 gauge, the 1mm wire, and feed that through the same path. So our work currently looks like this. And then what we want to do is we're going to make short little sections of 2-2 chain around our work. So we're just going to pick up another small ring and we're going to feed that through 2 of the small rings that are already in weave. And we're going to double that one up. Okay. And we're going to do that all the way around our work until we've got 4 sets of short 2-2 chains. Okay, so you go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here to show you what our next step is when you're done. Okay, so we've gone through and added all those rings to our work, and we've got our 4 short sections of chain. Now we're going to turn each of these sections of chain into half Byzantine units. So to do that, separate one of them out, pinching your middle ring. We want to fold one ring on each side, fold them all the way back and pinch them against that middle ring. Now, what we're looking for here, as we would be with Byzantine, is that gap there that's in the middle. And we're going to feed another of our opened small rings into that gap so that we lock all of those rings into place. Okay. And once you've got one ring in there, we want to put a second ring in. So just feed that through the exact same path that you used before. And there you go, you've created a half Byzantine unit. So we want to create that or recreate that half Byzantine unit all the way around until we've used up all of our short pieces of chain. So until we've got 4 half Byzantine units in our work. So if you want to go ahead and do that now, and I'll meet you back here when you're done, so we can move on to the next step. Okay, so we've created all our short chain units into half Byzantine units, and now what we want to do is we want to join these units to each other. So we're now going to use the 16 gauge AWG, or the 1.2mm diameter wire ring with the 6.5mm ID. So the ones in the middle were 18 gauge, they were slightly thinner. These ones are 16 gauge. Now you can use the 18 gauge in these to join them, but it creates a much looser diamond, which is why I chose to go with the 16 gauge. Okay, so to join these 2 units together, we're going to feed our ring through 2 rings here, so half of our unit, half of our half Byzantine unit, and we're going to join it through the other half of the next unit next to it there. So that just looks like going straight down into there, picking up those 2 rings, and then traveling through and picking up the same 2 rings in the next unit. Okay, so our work looks like this. So then we want to double that ring up. just go through the exact same path that you did before and close your ring up. Okay, so there's that one, and we want to do this all the way around, so we move around to our next set of units. Okay, so we're picking up the remaining 2 from this unit here that we joined and 2 from our new unit. And we just go straight through and pick those up. Make sure we pick up just 2 rings from each half Byzantine unit. We close those up and we double that ring up. Okay, so just straight through there, double it up. And we just continue working around until we've joined all of the units together. Okay, so this is our first ring. And our second ring. Now I really enjoy these Byzantine diamond units. I find them quite versatile, and I've used them in quite a few of our projects. So if you like these units as well, don't forget to check out some of our other projects here. I'll try to link some up in the corner throughout this video so that you can find other projects that we've used these on. Okay, so I'm just coming in and putting the last one into place. Okay, and we just need to double that ring up. Our finished Byzantine diamond unit. So to make up the bracelet, the full bracelet, you're going to need a total of 6 of these units made up. So if you want to go ahead and make up the remaining 5 units, and I'll meet you back here to show you how I put the bracelet together. Okay, so here's the finished bracelet. So the pattern I chose to do this to fit within the 20 centimeters or the 8 inches is I have a center star, and then off each side I've got 2 diamonds, a star, a diamond. It's not really a diamond though because it's in the square shape, but I'm just going to keep calling them diamonds. And then of course that pattern repeats on the other side, 2 diamonds, a star and a diamond. So I've just joined them together using the same small rings that were used to make the actual units up. And then to attach the clasp, using those same rings again to attach the slide lock clasp. And that's it, guys. That's the Byzantine, our Snowflakes bracelet, utilizing variations of the Byzantine diamond weave. Now to make up the pendant, for those that are part of the Maille Club subscription and got the pendant, you make up this center section the same way as the Byzantine diamond. The only alternative to fit inside the particular ring that we supplied is this ring is 16 gauge AWG 5.25 millimeter ID rings. I used that just so that it would fit inside of this ring. If you're not restrained by those size restraints, then obviously you can make these rings the same size as the ones that you used in your bracelet. And then as you can see, I just attached it to our flat plated ring, added a bail and a necklace. There you go, guys. So I hope you enjoyed our snowflake bracelet and pendant tutorial. Okay guys, well that's it. That's our video tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed it and you love this little bracelet as much as I do. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up here at YouTube, share our video, and if you haven't become a subscriber yet, consider doing so. And while you're there, hit the little bell to receive notifications every time we upload new content to our channel. While you're here, don't forget to check out some of our other videos that we've got here. We've got about 170 odd videos at time of recording, so I'm sure there's something there that you'll enjoy watching. And while we're here, guys, don't forget to give our website up there a little bit of love. You'll be able to find all the bits and bobs and thingamajigs that you need to make up this kit and many others. Alright guys, thanks again for coming along and joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again sometime in the very near future. Bye!